Welcome to The Explainer. All right, let's talk about something everyone in the cloud world deals with. How do you stay nimble and avoid getting stuck with one vendor without, grinding your innovation to a halt? Today, we're diving deep into the real trade-offs you've got to make.
Okay, before we jump in, just a quick heads up. What we're covering today is Module 5 of a much larger 9-part overview on avoiding cloud lock-in. All this info comes from some really thorough research by Virtualization Options LLC. Now remember, we're talking general principles here. This isn't legal advice. For your specific situation, you'll definitely want to chat with a legal expert who knows the ins and outs of this stuff.
All right, let's just cut to the chase. Nobody wants to be locked into a single cloud vendor, right? Of course not. But here's the thing. That freedom, it doesn't come for free. Not by a long shot. It forces you to make some really tough, conscious decisions about what you're willing to give up.
And that brings us right to the core dilemma, the big one. Innovation versus portability.
So this really lays out the two sides of the argument perfectly. On one hand, you've got the proprietary services, things like AWS Lambda or Google's BigQuery. The appeal is obvious, right? They help you move incredibly fast, and they take a ton of operational work off your team's plate. But then, on the other side, you have the portable, open-source stuff. Think Kubernetes. This route is all about protecting your future. It gives you strategic flexibility, keeps you in the driver's seat during negotiations, and the skills your team builds can be taken anywhere. But, like we said, that freedom and flexibility, it comes at a cost. Let's talk about the hidden price tag of portability, because it's not always obvious.
So, first up, the hit to your operations. Believe it or not, studies show that going multi-cloud can jack up your operational overhead by as much as 25%, and it makes sense when you think about it, right? Your teams end up having to manage duplicate sets of tools, they need different training, and the whole management effort just gets more complicated. That's a real hit to the budget.
Okay, next up is what I like to call the data trap. See, you can make your apps as portable as you want, but your data has gravity. Getting it out of a cloud costs money, on average about 9 cents a gigabyte. Now, 9 cents sounds like nothing, but what happens when you're talking about terabytes or even petabytes of data? All of a sudden, those egress fees can get so massive that they basically lock you in anyway. You're trapped by the cost.
And finally, let's talk about the human cost. The toll it takes on your team's efficiency. We're talking about engineers spending up to 40% more of their time just on operational stuff. Think about that. That's a huge chunk of their day spent juggling different APIs, switching between different management consoles, and learning different tool sets. That's time they are not spending building the cool new features that actually move your business forward. So we've talked about money and time. But beyond that, there's another giant hurdle: complexity. Specifically, the nightmare of trying to handle governance and security across multiple different clouds. Honestly, this is the one that can stop a multi-cloud dream dead in its tracks. And really, this is the critical point. For so many companies, security is the wall they just can't get over. Think about it. You're trying to maintain a single solid security posture across clouds that have totally different security models, different ways of handling identity, different compliance tools. It's often the single hardest piece of the entire multi-cloud puzzle.
So how in the world do you actually deal with this? Well, you need a plan, a framework. First, you have to create a unified policy that works everywhere, no matter the cloud. Then, you got to get your identity and access management sorted out with a federated system so you're not managing users in 10 different places. After that, and this is non-negotiable, you need centralized visibility. One place to see everything that's happening across all your clouds. And finally, automate your compliance checks. You just can't do it manually, it'll never scale.
All right, let's switch gears a bit. We've been talking a lot about tech, but your best defense against lock-in might not be your code at all. In fact, your first line of defense is probably the contract you sign. This is where you have to be so careful. You've got to comb through these agreements and watch out for the red flags. I'm talking about things like auto-renewal clauses that lock you in for another 3 years, or insane penalties if you want to terminate early. You need to hunt for those hidden egress fees in the fine print and be wary of any language that lets them change service levels on a whim. These are the little legal traps that can snap shut and hold you tight. The key here is to get on the front foot. Don't just accept the standard contract. Negotiate. Go in knowing exactly what you need. Push for guarantees on data portability. Insist on reasonable exit terms, and put a hard cap on those data egress fees we keep talking about. And get them to commit to providing technical support if you ever decide to leave. You have to build your exit ramp before you merge onto the freeway. And that really brings everything together, doesn't it? At the end of the day, there's no magic bullet here, no single right answer. Success isn't about choosing team innovation or team portability. It's about looking at each situation and making a smart, deliberate trade-off. Is the insane speed you get from this one proprietary service worth the risk for this project, right now? Answering that question, based on your company's own strategy and how much risk you're willing to take on, well, that's the absolute key to playing the cloud game smartly.